I coach middle school volleyball, and there are some volleyball rules that just make sense. For example, the ball is either on the line and inbounds, or it's outside of the line and out of bounds. Makes sense, right? You would be surprised at how many times I catch myself on the sidelines yelling at my team, get to the line, hustle to the line. Because what ends up happening, if they don't physically hustle over to that line, they end up making a judgment that they're not really sure of. They end up saying, it's out, and their teammates end up not going for the ball that lands, you guessed, in bounds. Point lost. Their hearts just weren't in it. The people that Jesus is talking to during a feast that we find in John chapter 7, he's talking about God and the kingdom of heaven. And as the Judeans are listening, they start asking, who is he to talk about this stuff? And what does he know? They start looking at Jesus the same way that my players do when a ball is headed for the line. They start looking and making assumptions without actually going and seeing for themselves. In verse 16, we actually see Jesus answer those questioning him, saying that his teachings are not his own, but they come from God. And you listening would know that if you were close to God. Talk about some heat. I mean, Jesus is literally saying what I'm saying to my players on the court. If you really knew, then you would know and you would make the right decision. And this conversation is kind of offensive because these people believe that they do know God, just like my players believe that they do know that ball is going out, but their heart is not in it. That's what we see happening here. These Judeans, their heart is just really not in the right place, and Jesus is calling them out on it. Is there a chance that, similar to my players in those moments of lapse of judgment, or these Judeans that Jesus is talking to at this feast in John chapter 7, that some of the frustrating moments in your life and the L's that you're taking, the points lost, are actually a result of your lack of being near to God? Not knowing him and being close enough to make judgments and assumptions about your life and the people and the things that you do and say so that they end up in a way that is helpful and not harmful? Whenever we make the effort to hustle and see God clearly and understand who he is, which we actually get a really great picture through Jesus of God's character. Whenever we do that, we see with our own eyes the beautiful, sacrificial love he has for us, unlike anything else this life has to offer. So today I want to ask you, how close are you to God? Is there a chance that you could get closer and see him for yourself?